Hello everyone. This is Swamray Chaudhary and welcome you all to Lex Luminate. Today we'll be discussing a very important topic which stems its roots from the concept of judicial activism in India. And we'll be discussing today about the topic of public interest litigation. Let us start. What is public interest litigation? So, public interest litigation is generally abbreviated as PIL in India. It originated and developed in the USA in the 1960s. In India, it is a product of judicial activism of the Supreme Court of India. And the justices who developed this concept are Justice Bhagwati and Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer. PIL is sometimes termed by some other names also, like social action litigation, social interest litigation, class action litigation. तो PIL के कॉन्सेप्ट में जो भी कोई भी पब्लिक स्पिरिटेड इंडिविजुअल जो होता है वो जाके सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जो वीकर सेक्शन है उनके बिहाफ में PIL फाइल कर सकता है. So the traditional rule of locus standi. Rule of locus standi क्या बोलता है? Only the person aggrieved can alone move the court. यही बोलता है traditional rule of locus standi. But this rule has an exception, that is public interest litigation. So the rule of locus standi has been relaxed in the case of public interest litigation because any public spirited individual or organization can file a petition in the Supreme Court of India or the high courts of respective states on behalf of the weaker sections of the society who are unable to approach the court. And there have been many cases of PIL as well. We'll be discussing in the later half of this video. So stay tuned. Hence, the concept of PIL is an exception to the traditional rule of locus standi. PIL can be brought by way of a writ petition before the Honorable Supreme Court of India under Article 32 and before the High Courts of States under Article 226 of the Constitution of India. So this is a part of the basic structure as well, and it cannot be taken away by amendment of the legislature. Moving on to the next slide. What is the object of PIL? The object is to facilitate effective access to justice to the socially and economically weaker sections of the society. So जो भी weaker sections हैं society में socially या फिर economically उनको access to justice देने के लिए PIL का concept ready हुआ है. तो आपको पता ही होगा कि access to justice भी एक fundamental right में आता है. तो right to life and personal liberty article 21 उसी का अंदर ये भी आता है. The meaningful realization of the fundamental rights. So if any person's fundamental rights are being violated by the government, then he can approach directly to the Supreme Court of India by way of Article 32. And if he is a social and economically weaker section, then and he is not able to approach the court directly, then he can also file a PIL through another person, and another person can file a case of PIL on his behalf. So vindication of the rule of law. So these are the objects of PIL. Here are some of the cases which have been laid down in various cases of the Supreme Court of India which have not been entertained as PIL. Matters such as landlord-tenant matters, service matters, those pertaining to pension and gratuity, complaints against the central and state government department and local bodies except some, petitions for early hearing of cases in the High Court and subordinate courts. All these cases are not entertained as PIL by the courts. And there are some other cases as well. So as we read various cases, we will go through that. So these are some of the major case laws on PIL. So Bisakha versus State of Rajasthan is a landmark judgment on public interest litigation because in this case the Supreme Court, while exercising the powers under Article 141, laid down certain guidelines which have been followed. So as part of a government campaign against the child marriage, these are the facts of the case. As part of the government campaign, Banwari Devi sought to stop the marriage of a 1-year-old girl in rural Rajasthan. So first the neighborhood threatened Banwari Devi and her family in retaliation. So since she was opposing this heinous act, she was being threatened by her neighborhood, and later they also subjected them to socio-economic boycott. तो उनको threaten किया गया, फिर उनको boycott भी कर दिया गया. So later on September 22, 1992, Vanwari Devi was raped by 5 men. So, the victim encountered several challenges in her quest of justice. An attorney who had witnessed Vanwari Devi's criminal trial grew dissatisfied with the criminal justice system's inability to provide the victim with tangible relief and restore her dignity, and she decided to oppose workplace sexual harassment by bringing a PIL case action before the Supreme Court. सो जो लॉयर थे वहां पे, उन्होंने देखा कैसे ट्रायल चल रहा था और वो बहुत ही दुखी हुए। फिर उन्होंने पीआईएल सुप्रीम कोर्ट में लाने के लिए केस किया। So the Visakha writ petition was submitted in 1992 by 5 NGOs and was directed at the state of Rajasthan, the Women and Child Welfare Department, its Department of Social Welfare, and the Union of India. So the following are the certain observations and the holdings of the court. The court observed that essential constitutional rights of equality, non-discrimination, life and personal liberty, as well as right to pursue any profession are clearly violated by sexual harassment. The Supreme Court of India framed popular Bisakha guidelines to prevent the sexual harassment and procedures to be strictly followed in all workplaces. Visakha guidelines were treated to be law as per Article 141 of the Constitution. तो हमने ये पहले मैंने बताया था. So this laid the foundation or gateway to the enactment of the Sexual Harassment for Women at Workplace Prevention Prohibition Redressal Act 2013. तो जब भी लेजिस्लेचर का कोई लॉ नहीं होता है एक सब्जेक्ट के ऊपर, तब सुप्रीम कोर्ट अपने जुडिशियल एक्टिविज्म का पावर एक्सरसाइज करके लॉ भी उसके ऊपर बना सकता है, पर वो लेजिस्लेटिव पावर्स के ऊपर ओवरराइड नहीं करना चाहिए एंड जुडिशियल ओवररीच नहीं करना चाहिए. And moving on to the next slide. The next case on PIL is Paramanand Katara versus Union of India. So this was also called the medical and healthcare case. So in this PIL, what happened was, it was held that the right to life is paramount and hence overriding medical and legal formalities in case of emergencies were permissible, as once life was lost it could not be restored. तो आपको पता ही होगा कि आप जब एक हॉस्पिटल में जाते हैं कोई इमरजेंसी केस में, तो क्या होता था, कुछ डॉक्यूमेंटेशन करना होता था, फिर लीगल फॉर्मेलिटीज भी पूरे करने होते हैं. तो इसी केस में कोर्ट ने क्या बोला है, तो राइट टू लाइफ जो है वो पैरामाउंट है एंड ये ओवरराइड करता है मेडिकल और लीगल फॉर्मेलिटीज को. क्योंकि जब एक लाइफ चला जाता है तो फिर वो रिस्टोर नहीं किया जा सकता. सेविंग वंस लाइफ शुड बी अ पैरामाउंट ड्यूटी फॉर डॉक्टर्स. एवरी मेडिकल डॉक्टर हैज अ professional obligation to extend their services with due expertise for protecting life. So it was held that a doctor in the medical profession should not be dragged unnecessarily for interrogation and completing formality by the police or lawyers. Then third case आता है एसपी गुप्ता का. So ये popularly इसको जजेस ट्रांसफर केस बोलते हैं. So the principle of PIL was established in this case by a 7-judge bench of the Supreme Court of India. So what was held in this case? It was held that any member of the public having sufficient interest जिसका है वही आ सकता है सुप्रीम कोर्ट में PIL फाइल करने के लिए. कैन अप्रोच द कोर्ट for enforcing the constitutional or legal rights of other persons and redressal of a common grievance. एक कॉमन ग्रीवेंस को रिड्रेसल करवाने के लिए कोई एक मेंबर जिसका सफिशिएंट इंटरेस्ट है वो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल और लीगल राइट्स को एनफोर्स करवाने के लिए कोर्ट को अप्रोच कर सकता है. कोर्ट यानी कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट या और हाई कोर्ट. द सुप्रीम कोर्ट और हाई कोर्ट आर द bodies which can adjudicate on the public interest litigations only. So public interest litigations do not lie in the subordinate courts. So the court upheld that the right of practicing lawyers to maintain a writ petition under Article 32 on matters affecting the independence of judiciary वो कर सकते हैं, ये बोला है सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने. The principle of PIL has widened the scope of Article 32 of the Constitution. The Supreme Court का जो Article 32 में जो jurisdiction है वो principle of PIL के द्वारा और भी ज़्यादा wide हो गया है. The Supreme Court will now be ready to interfere under Article 32 whenever and wherever any injustice is caused or being caused by the state action to the poor and helpless citizens of this country who cannot approach the court. तो जब भी कोई पुअर या फिर हेल्पलेस पर्सन को स्टेट एक्शन के द्वारा उसको प्रताड़ित किया जा रहा है तो वो सुप्रीम कोर्ट वहां पे इंटरवीन करेगा आर्टिकल 32 में PIL का इस्तेमाल करके. The fourth case is Guruvayur Devaswam Managing Committee versus CK Rajan. So इस केस में 12 principles of PIL were laid down in this case, where Supreme Court has held that PIL cannot be used to solve disputes of private nature. So इस केस में क्या हुआ था, सीके राजन ने एक लेटर लिखा एक केरला हाईकोर्ट के जज को, ब्रिंगिंग टू हिज नोटिस अबाउट द irregularities and corrupt practices, maladministration and mismanagement in the Sri Krishna temple in Kerala, requesting to do justice to the downtrodden people who visit the temple of Guruvayur. तो गुरुवायूर क्या है, एक टेम्पल है, तो वहां पे जो मिसमैनेजमेंट हो रहा था उसको नोटिस में लाने के लिए एक लॉयर ने, जो कि हैं सीके राजन, उन्होंने केरला हाईकोर्ट के एक जज को लेटर लिखा इसके बारे में बताने के लिए। तो उसके बाद क्या हुआ, the management of the temple was to be carried out in terms of the provisions of Guruvayur Devaswam Act. The letter was treated as an original petition under Article 226. The High Court ने क्या किया, फिर डिस्ट्रिक्ट जज को कमीशन के चेयरमैन बना के उनको डिस्ट्रिक्ट जज को भेज दिया। तो उन्होंने क्या किया, डिस्ट्रिक्ट जज ने रिपोर्ट बनाया, फिर कोर्ट में सबमिट किया। ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द कमिश्नर्स रिपोर्ट, द हाई कोर्ट डायरेक्टेड टू टेक द मैनेजमेंट ऑफ द PIA ऑफ द टेम्पल. So against this order and special leave petition was filed in the Supreme Court by the managing committee. तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने क्या बोला, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने ये बोला कि PIL cannot be used for solving disputes of private nature. PIL was evolved with a view to render justice to the poor, depraved, illiterate and downtrodden people who have either no access to justice or had been denied justice. So it cannot be used for removing the corruption of a temple. So ये था, और इसके बाद 12 प्रिंसिपल्स भी सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने दिए हैं। आप ये केस लॉ जाके देखेंगे तो वहां पे आपको ये प्रिंसिपल्स भी मिल जाएंगे। सो एक लेटर के द्वारा भी आप PIL फाइल करा सकते हैं। तो एक लेटर को भी PIL ट्रीट किया जा सकता है सुप्रीम कोर्ट या फिर हाई कोर्ट के द्वारा। तो हमने सुनील बात्रा वर्सेस दिल्ली एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का केस जानते ही होंगे, जहां पे एक लेटर को पिटिशन के तौर पे जज ने एक्सेप्ट किया था। So some more examples of PIL are Bandhuwa Mukti Morcha versus Union of India. Then coming to the conclusion of the whole lecture. So obviously the concept of PIL has increased government's accountability. So but there have been certain instances of misuse of this writ petition. So in many cases the Supreme Court has flagged the issue, and some of the cases have even been termed by the Supreme Court as publicity interest litigation, politics interest litigation, private interest litigation, and heavy costs have been imposed on the parties. So to avoid judicial overreach and other violations of the principles of separation of powers, judiciary should entertain PILs with caution. So आपको पता ही है कि सेपरेशन ऑफ डॉक्ट्रिन ऑफ सेपरेशन ऑफ पावर्स बोलता है कि द लॉ मेकिंग पावर इज विद द लेजिस्लेचर, लॉ एग्जीक्यूशन पावर इज विद द एग्जीक्यूटिव, एंड लॉ इंटरप्रिटेशन पावर लाइज विद द जुडिशरी. सो सुप्रीम कोर्ट को या फिर हाई कोर्ट को PIL एंटरटेन करने में ये भी देखना होगा कि वो किसी और ब्रांच के पावर्स में overreach नहीं कर रहे हैं. So this was all about PIL. Hope you like the video. If you like the video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.